So you start on the first floor, make your way up to the third?
We started on the first floor. They cleared that. There was, at the end of a long hallway on the first floor was a barricaded door, which is another sign that someone important is inside. The guys ahead of me, they used their methods of entry, a couple different attempts, and they opened it. And then we started going up the stairs from the first floor to the second floor. On the way up, the analyst had told us we would run into Khalid bin Laden, Osama bin Laden's son, and she said if we see him, that he's the last line of defense. Well, if he's armed, and he was armed, and so he was. We eliminated the threat there. Continued up to the second floor, and when we got, I was about 8 guys, the 8th guy back maybe. Once we got to the second floor, the guys in front of me, all except for the one man, started to clear the threats on the second floor. We're going to secure that floor until we move up. So I moved my way up to the second position behind the first man, and he was pointing up the stairs to the third floor. And there was a curtain on the top of the floor, and there was some movement behind it with unknown silhouettes. He was getting concerned that they would have explosives or putting on vests or they're rigging something, and he was letting me know, not me know, letting the guy behind him know that it just turned out to be me, that there was a threat at the top of the stairs and we need to go now. I wanted more people, but he was spot on, so I gave him a squeeze on his shoulder. He went up, I went up behind him. We went through the curtain. The threats, the unknowns turned out to be some females. He sort of grabbed onto them and he pushed them a little bit down the hallway, falling on them to absorb the blast that he knew was going to happen, so he gave his life so the guy behind him could get a shot. From there, when he pushed the women, I turned to the right into a doorway, and the doorway led to a bedroom, and in the bedroom was Osama bin Laden a matter of feet in front of me. And he had his hands on his wife's shoulders. He was not surrendering. He was sort of moving, and just based on the level of threat of him not surrendering and the likelihood of him having a vest, I engaged him. I shot him twice in the head. He fell on the floor. I shot him one more time, and I killed him.
In that brief moment you had with him, did you get a sense of him at all? Was it like, this is the world's most evil man, or was it, this is a coward, this is just another guy? What did it feel like?
The sense was a recognition of, first of all, an ID of him, and then he's a threat. And then I had to shoot him. And it wasn't the first time I'd done that on a target before. You know, this wasn't the first target I'd been on. And at that point, it was a target. I recognized the threat. I recognized the individual we were after, which was Osama bin Laden, and I engaged.
A sniper friend of mine wants to ask you, what did it feel like?
At that minute, it was just, it felt like that was the initial threat that I had to take care of, and then there were more threats. Threats aren't always, threats are just potential unknowns. There were 2 more. Well, there was a woman and then there was a child. I wanted to put them in a place where they weren't in danger, so they went on the bed, and then there were other spots that needed to be cleared. It wasn't until the room was fully cleared and there were more SEALs in the room that it kind of hit me, and it just felt like I had a moment of pause. And I talked to a friend of mine who was in the room, and he came up to me and he put his hand on my shoulder, and I said, "Hey, what do we do now?" And he kind of smiled and he goes, "Now we go find the computers." And I said, "Okay, I'm back. That was quite a thing that just happened."